Assalamu alaikum. I'm Malik Hodge, an angel warrior of the Midwest and a messenger of the covenant, representing the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, the self-taught one, Master Suleiman, who has given us the Injil, the gospel of revelations, with the Injil key that gives us the understanding of the unsealed scriptures. This title of this presentation is titled "The Truth Will Be Made So Clear, Even a Fool Could Not Err." Before we get into that topic, we're going to begin with the Holocaust. The Holocaust. What's behind it all? The unprecedented trouble that the black man and woman experience here in the hills of North America. The 400 years of terror and horror that they will go through and be in this affliction, being afflicted in this land that was not theirs, in this strange land that they were taken to and kept there for 400 years. Where they were dehumanized, beat, whipped, killed, hung, skinned, and did every unimaginable torture to them. Where their women was taken and raped repeatedly. The men were took and raped and sodomized. They had no rights, no human rights. They was completely detached from the human family. Our children was fed to animals, to alligators for bait. They was used as bait. They would go steal babies while they had the women out on the plantations or moving around through Master's house or whatever, doing whatever they were carrying out. They would steal the babies, put them in cages, kennels, like the dogs, and stick them out there and have them crying, wailing. And as they cried, that they're in the water, low level, but they're not submerged, but they're crying and in horror and terror in a cage. Laid out in the swamp to yell while their voices then yelling. Riffles put the vibration in the water that causes the gators, brings the big gators out of the bayou, the swamps. And they tie a string around the child. Throw the child out into the water as they see the gators moving in. They see the bubbling. They can tell by the bubbles and the length. They're watching to see. They toss the child out there for a bait. And the child begins, he floats on water easily. The baby does. And he goes into his natural instincts to paddle and to stay above water. And the gator, within moments, swallows the baby whole. And they pull the baby, the gator in with his jaws locked. And they pull the gator in and ties his mouth down and hits him on the head with a pickaxe. This is just one of the things they were doing to our children. Our children were animals. We were animals. They fed us from troughs. They literally fed us shit. Literally, cow dung, shitterlings. The bare minimum to keep you to give you just enough to stay alive. The closest thing to slavery was just minimum overhead for maximum profit. We were slaves, but we were inflicted every moment, every day, every year for hundreds of years. In this hell, North America. We were hunted like animals for sport and play. Run, Toby, run! As they hunted us. And the victor will get the head. These are the things that they were doing to the black man and woman. Hunting us, eating us, literally eating us, burning us at the stake on weekends in town hall and what do they call them? Festivals or get-togethers in the square over the weekends. They will have a live lynching of a black man or a black woman, or both, multiples, for entertainment. And they made their children watch. Look at this. Look at this. Make sure you watch these niggas. They are animals. Watch them die. We were made to watch our children killed. The children was made to watch their parents killed. The women, they were put out there in front of the men, women, and children with fetuses, babies in their stomach, laid on the ground and then trampled over by horses to push their fetus out, to kill them. They don't want nobody to know this horror and terror that they put the black man and woman through. They don't want nobody to know how they didn't have no sympathy on a child, no sympathy at all for the black man and woman. We were animals, no laws whatsoever. But they want to call this part of history that's known facts a theory. They want to call it critical race theory because they want to be a theory of what they carried out against the black man and woman. They want to call it slavery, but slavery, there's not a people. Slavery has been going on, and not a people on the planet has go through the conditions and the horrors and terror to be dehumanized. Not even a people that was taken in through war. We were a people that was kidnapped, took, and hadn't did anything to these people. Nothing. And was treated in the name of their filthy Jesus Christ. Jesus, their spook God that they terrorized us with. The same spook God that they named that ship that took us off the coast of Africa and brought us to this hell hole. And they want to sweep it up under the rug. They don't want to tell their children. They don't want to turn their children's heads and face what their parents done, what they've been doing to the black man and woman since we have been brought here. But they forced them to watch. They forced them to participate when they was lynching and pillaging us and raping us and cutting and skinning us and picking souvenirs off of us, pulling parts of our bodies off to take home as a souvenir. They made them participate in that. They've been participating in capitalizing off of our terror and horror since day one. They don't want no one to know. They want to tell our children shouldn't know what we've done. Our children, this critical race theory, they should not, when they're being taught American history about George Washington, Jefferson, Hancock, and all the rest of them that were slave owners. All of them had slaves. Franklin, all of them. They were killing us. They had no pity for us. They had no laws for us. Tell them the truth. Tell them there was none. What they all up until 1964, when we finally made force. They did it out of being forced by what Elijah Muhammad was producing, what the interpretation that we are the gods, the interpretation that we are living out Exodus, and we are the true seed of Abraham. The truth made them. The truth forced them. It scared them so bad that it forced them to make changes to bring in a counter narrative to keep you away from the truth. So, this Holocaust, this 460 plus years in this terror and horror, this time that we went through was unprecedented for people to go through. Now, it's the time for their judgment. And they're going to go through this time of unprecedented trouble, a time like never before, because a time that 460 plus years all pressed, congealed, magnified into 1 year of time of terror and horror that is going to be felt on this Caucasian white man, on America, this devil. And throughout the world. So, that is the Holocaust. Let them see if it's going to be since it's a theory, let us see how the judgment, see if that's a theory. See if you can theorize on that. Because the judgment is already in motion. So let us get to our topic. Now our topic. The truth will be made so clear, even a fool cannot err. How simple is truth? How complicated are lies? Because when you make one lie, you have to make another one to adjust to the other one. So the complication becomes a consistent reaction to keep making adjustments to back the lie. So, the truth of a thing is simple. Very simple. The truth to getting to from one place to another. The truth of having directions and a map to carry you from one place to another. If it's a lie, you're going to be able to find out because you're not going to end up where you belong. But the truth, you can take the starting point and make it to your destination without any problem. Should be easily done. So that's how simple or the truth is to understand. Now, everyone in the world is in this belief matrix. No one is really taking the truth and digesting it to see where at and how we're at, where we're at in the world in today's time. And base their world and the world events together to look at where we're at through scripture standpoint, because they've either taken the part that they had or the part they were given and not accepted or not looking at anything outside of their realm or their world. So, the whole world, as the scripture said, will be in chaos. The whole world will be out of touch with the truth. They will be out of touch with the God. They will not know the God. Once the God showed up, they didn't know what to look for. They've been made to be misled by religions, outdated time, outdated principles or understanding of the God. So all the things that was taking place in the world, there's an event and there's a people in the world that is representing God's chosen people. There's a condition in the text, in the scriptures, in the Quran, in the Hadith, of what God's chosen people would endure through. However, there's a time period in the world that the scriptures point out of a point in time and give you understanding of a length of time. That Sunnism would keep the beast locked in the abyss for 1,000 years. There's a point of time when you can go back and follow this period of time with facts You can go into this period in time and see the power of Sunnism in that period of time. How it was in control of the world. How it was the leader, the responsible party, the responsible representation of the God. Before that, in the Roman time, when Prophet Isa, or the Jesus of 2,000 years ago, when he came to the people and he took down the Roman Empire. You can follow that back. But since the beast was released from the abyss, he's went out throughout the world making mischief and bloodshed, taking the minds of the people, causing the people to worship any and everything. Keeping the truth out of reach of those who are the children of the seed of Allah, the seed of Abraham. So the world has went off of the path of righteousness. You have the Islamic nations. You have the Sunni Islamic nation. Then you have the Shia Islamic nations. Then you have the Christian African nations and the Christian nations throughout the world. The Catholics and the Jewish nations. Jewish religions and people. All these things have caused a misconception and kept confusion of the truth, never bearing to get back to the essence, never making a getting to understand the truth of the scriptures, or the truth of, let's say, the scriptures of all of the texts. But in all the texts, the time that is to come, or was to come, was this time of God's chosen people being taken from their land, taken from their land, and took to a strange land. This is all texts have this story, have this revelation, have this, it's laid in there. All the texts speak of this people that were to be taken and inflicted in this strange land for 400 years. However, when this 400-year period has come and gone, that God would judge the nation and God will judge the nations, and God will bring his people out and bring them out with great substance and take them back to their land. And God will judge and destroy that nation. And God will destroy that sinful world. He will destroy it all and bring in his new heaven, his new ark, his new earth. Out, he will build it. He will bring it out with his people. He will make this new ark, new covenant from his chosen Abraham's seed, his original people. The seed of Abraham. The one who built Mecca, Medina. But all eyes have been closed to the truth. All nations have some type of feeling in them. Why? The truth shouldn't be accepted. Religions have paralyzed the minds to accepting what is in their face and how to identify with the truth. They've made many think that this truth happened many years ago, hundreds of years ago. But if that was the truth, then why are we here? Why is the Satan still here? Why is the devil still here? Why when you add it up, you can't make it the truth. But when you see what time it is and the condition that the leaders, the leading powers in this world is going through or experiencing, the crumbling or the breaking of this power of this nation, of these nations, this civilization, its builders and founders of this civilization has entered into a time period that they are coming into, they're in a position that they are breaking their collapse, their system is collapsing. They can't find, they're looking and searching to find a way to mend. their system, their civilization. However, the 1619 Project, brothers and sisters from Africa, Levites, Levite tribes, African tribes, you are our brothers and sisters. However, the Levite tribe of America, the priest tribe, and the tribe of Shabazz, the true seed of Abraham, have went through this experience, this Holocaust, and has been in the bosom or the belly of the beast, being torn apart by this beast, afflicted day in, day out, night in, night out, 365 days a year, 24/7. Dehumanized by this beast. We were taken from our lands. The scriptures, be it you looking in the Quran, the Hadith, the Injil, the Bible, the Gospels, the scriptures, the texts. We are the people that have went through this. And the God sent one, not the God came and found us in the hells of North America. As the scriptures share, as the Quran shared and the Hadith shared, all the text gives you what is to happen with these people, with God's chosen people. So when you see this, and you can bear witness to the truth, you can't hide your head. You can hide your head between your legs or stick it in a hole in the ground like an ostrich and have your butt up trying to keep the truth from being unveiled, from trying to keep from seeing the truth in your face. But the world has been affected by the truth since 2000. The world has changed and it hasn't been the same since. So, in any text you look through, but when you get to the Bible and you look in it, and you look in your Quran, but it all of them tells you after that 400 years I will come and I'm going to bring them out. So when you see 2020 and the plague comes right after that 1619 project, to the 2019, that 400-year period of time. Add up the time. Take the truth. It's there. 2020 came. And the plague hit the leaders of this world, the leaders of this civilization, the leaders of Egypt. In the scriptures it says Egypt is these Caucasian nations written. It said the texts were written, but the scriptures were sealed. And in this time that this one to keep the authenticity, to keep the truth safe. This one will come and unseal the scriptures that they had the book for 2,000 years and couldn't do nothing with it. They said it was the Injil or the Gospel of Revelation, a hidden text, but it was never hidden. It was in their face. They couldn't understand it. And this one will unseal the scriptures and give you the understanding of them, and give you the understanding of the time, and give you the understanding back of the language and the identity and the knowledge of the God. So, brothers and sisters, African nations, looking on or listening, you can be in denial. You might not want. You might hold on to your religion. Hold on to your Islam. Hold on to your Sunnism. Holding on. But the truth lies in your face. And you're going to have to let go of your ego. You're going to have to let go of out of time scriptures, out of time texts. Not saying let go of Islam, let go of the texts that you're mimicking and following, that time has come and passed. But Islam is forever. The truth of the God, the Islam that is here today for man, for the gods, for the people of Allah, for the original man and women of the planet, has been brought and given, and is being brought in through God's chosen people, the true seed of Abraham and the Levite tribe that went through this 400 years of terror and horror. the world. We're taking on the leaders, the foundation, the rulers of this world that we're living in. Those that have afflicted the nations. Those that rule over the nations. Those that sit on high. That take their bombs and their guns and they sell them throughout the world, bringing death, mischief, chaos all through the world, bringing separation between our people, keeping us apart, keeping nations apart. And they dictate. This is the rulers of this world, of this civilization. And we are that nation of Allah's people that the scriptures in the text said that will go through this 400 years, and after this new world revelations, the revealing of all things, the time of change, the time of the war of Armageddon, the time of the apocalypse. This is what all the texts shared that was going to take place. So that excuse the lies. Let it go. Let your ego go. Because when this time comes, you are in a position that you're going to have to make decisions. Because those of you that are in America, before I go there, let me stay on this. Your egos will not let you read the text, which one you have, and learn from them. But you have to understand the truth that is coming through the angel, from the breaker of the seven seals, from Suleiman, from the Son of Man. This 360 degrees of knowledge that coming from the angel, the 22 chapters of Revelations divided by the seven seals, gives you a number of 3.14, which is pi. 360 degrees of knowledge that is being given to you through the unsealed scriptures, the unsealed text, unsealed of a time and the knowledge of the God of the time that the world is in, that the rulers of this world is being dealt with through or from, who's bringing in this new world, this new civilization, and taking out this old civilization in this old world, which is the devil's world, bringing in the God's world. And it's said in your text, in any text, with where I'm bringing in this new with the true seed of Abraham, the tribe of Shabazz, Boz, God's chosen people. Those that went through this 400 years. And after that 400 years, these people I'm going to bring out, and I'm going to take out this nation, judge this ruler, judge this civilization, and I'm going to eliminate this civilization in this world that is ruled by the devil. And the devil, who is the devil? The Caucasian white man, the grafted man, the skunk of the planet Earth. This is what the text shared. This is what the God came and shared with us, who the devil is, who the God is. Don't get this misunderstood. The 400 years after it, the change of the world, the taking out of this devil, the taking out of his civilization and of his world, and bringing in this new earth, this new heaven, this new ark. This new world that will never, this new kingdom that will never fold, that will never fall. So, there's no doubt that this world, this civilization, look at the tree. Look at its fruit. There's no doubt in whose world this is. There's no doubt in the facts that is in your face. And there's no doubt from the truth that the angel, that the Son of Man, the Word of God, that the Word that is being given to you, spoken, offered to you, the knowledge that you can deny or make even a fool will not fail if he accepts the truth. Is it that is too simple? It makes too much sense? Or is it that it's a problem that the black man and woman of America is God's chosen people, or the true seed of Abraham? Why wouldn't that be? The last will be first, and the first will be last. They made us look like we're crazy. We've been baptized in sin, born in this iniquity. We've been made everything. We've been given these lies to keep us away from the truth, from keeping us away from who we are, being ourselves. You've been given an interpretation and a vision in your minds to look at the true seed of Abraham and the Levite tribe as. But you're not looking at us. You don't understand about the tricks of this trickster and his children. You don't understand that he has a people that looks like us. He has his seed that he has planted into us. He has done this, and this is the tactics that he has utilized all over the planet to put his seed into the people in each area and produce a child that carries his nature, that carries his nature, and is going to find favor in his Father. So that's how he produces and puts in his thoughts and keeps a counter person to counter the people, to keep a spy or a cancer cell in the fabric of each nation. And we, the black man and woman of America, is been affected by these demons, this cancer cells, these terror bots. It's 15 million of them through slavery. Half and half is 34 million blacks in America, and half of them are demons. 17 million demons. For each original black man, it's a demon. It's 1 for 1. 17 million of masters' black-faced children that they have put in front of the world, manipulated, and keeps putting them out as a impersonation of the real black man, impersonating the original man, putting him on high, in high places, putting him, giving him, he's the overseers, the preachers, the politicians, the movie stars, all the white man's children, the devil's seed. But the facts, the truth that has been coming, this truth, all the understanding through the knowledge of what's happening today. And you can't take what's taking place in the world today from the scriptures. You cannot allow yourself to be in a matrix reality, taken away from the truth that's been given through the scriptures, through the text. You have to find your way to reality, to the real world. And this vision of the Abrahamic covenant, which is being brought in, is the reality of the world that is coming in. So you have to place yourself in reality and take yourself out of the matrix and see how simple the truth is, how reliable the truth is, as we give you understanding of the time and where we are in it, where what's taking place, what's causing the shift of power, what's causing the change in the world. the black man and woman. The time, the rising of the new nation, the gods, giving you the understanding of we are all are gods. It's not something in the ether, some spook. The way you're looking at it is wrong. But you have to put yourself in touch with this reality that's being brought in, that you're going to have to deal with in real time in this world right now. The abomination of desolation, the shock of the hour, the JCPOA, which is brought us to this, is bringing us to this time of, it's the spark that's going to take place, that's going to, this war in the Middle East between Michael, Master Farad Muhammad, the Shia's 12th Imam, Iran and Syria. They're going to go to war with the dragon and his angels. The dragon, the House of Saud, Saudi Arabia, America and Britain, false Israel, and those 6 Sunni nations that have made an alliance with Satan himself up under the Abraham Accord, an accord that all of them had this common enemies and a common enemy, and the number one enemy is the true seed of Abraham, and the accord is to keep Abraham's seed from rising. The world is going to be brought to an end, a change to civilization. Abraham's seed brings in this change. So the covenant with God that Abraham made from about his seed, and what time this world, all things will change, is after the 400 years. We're after it. The plague hit right on time. It passed over all of those that had the blood, the DNA of the Lamb. It passed over Africa. Africa is not being affected. Haiti's not being affected. The black man, the original black man and woman in America, is not being affected. The original people throughout the planet is not being affected. But it affected the Caucasian white man. It's affected the Asian. It went through all nations, decimating them as it passed over us. This is to let you know, this is to bring proof of the time to your mind, to let you know where we are in time, so you can follow or find your compass in time, so that you can get to and understand what's going on. Bringing you to who's giving this knowledge, who's preparing it, letting you know step by step what's going to happen before it happened, and what's going to be the outcome. Only the God, the Son of Man, the angel, the breaker, the one that is speaking it, the one is teaching this, the one that has the word, has this thought sphere that rules the planet, rules the earth, rules the universe. All those, this time that we're in can be proven. Look, 6 months ago, you couldn't see all of this. But we've given you the understanding of all things, of what's taking place, why and how it's going to end up, the outcome of it before it happens. So, when you see America and Britain kicked out the Middle East, open up your eyes. When you see Saudi Arabia taking down America and Britain kicked out the Middle East by Iran and Syria and Master Farad Muhammad, but you're going to just witness Iran and Syria. You might witness, I'm going to say, Michael and his angels, Master Farad Muhammad, and Iran and Syria. And when you see false Israel sieged and then destroyed, those other 6 Sunni nations that have made an alliance against Islam, against alliance with Satan, the dragon, and the beast, they're going to receive the same outcome. That's going to be the shock of the hour. And all nations, all of all kinds, will be able to look and find this understanding that who the true seed of Abraham is without a doubt in their mind. There won't be any smoke, any gray area, any lies, any way that you can deny what's been given to you. So you're going to have to let go of your egos. You're going to have to let go of the matrix and the out of time and out of touch. Scriptures or verses or books that you have placed yourself in line with. You're going to have to put yourself in harmony with the truth of today's time and the future. The truth of the future and what's coming in and what is going to stay in from that time, from this time forth. Run, hide, but only the truth that has been given from Master Suleiman and the angel warriors, those that have taken the truth and is giving it back to the people that it is for. The demons can't hear the truth. The devils can't hear the truth. They understand it, but it's against their nature. And brothers and sisters, it's an existential threat to them. So you must understand what and how they're going to move from self-preservation is going to produce a reaction to being taken out. That's why I said you're about to go through a war, a time of unprecedented trouble. The war of the war of Armageddon and the war of the apocalypse. Only the truth is being given to you freely, that you can take, search, put together, put with today, put with what's taking place in the world today, put with the scriptures, put with the people, put with what you're seeing, put with what's happening. However, when you see what's been given to you in advance, then know for sure the truth. The truth, it's as simple, has been made as clear, so clear to you that a fool could not err. Only if you were to examine it to make an adequate, conscious decision, then you will find out that it is the truth and nothing but the truth. And with that, I'm going to bring this segment to a close and greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum.